Right. Hi, everybody. This is A7X Fan Ben, and this is going to be part 10 of the hourly campaign. It's another live session. This will be the 10th hour that the game has taken, and I'm just posting to Facebook real quick. Just a little update with the live link. Alright, looks like it works right, so that's good. Alright, so going back to my document here, I'm on turn number 8, and the Vikings are up right now. There's a resource roll of 4, which means that metals, number 3 resource, they're worth 6 gold, they're worth the most, and then textiles will be worth 5. So, and this is going for 9 turns, and it's the first turn of the change, so still getting used to the new resource roll. And the Vikings are up first, so I'll try to remember what my factions are doing. This is December 7th, 2018, Pearl Harbor Day, and hopefully the Americans will do good tonight. But I'm recording a lot of videos this weekend, and I'm actually hoping to do that with the hourly campaign as well. I might be playing tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. I might be playing 3 days in a row, partly because I might do 5 sessions of the hourly campaign this month, and also because I would like to do, it's just going to be most convenient for me to stack all the sessions for this month right now, rather than try to do them over the holidays or later in this month, or try to do one a week. It's not as realistic as it is for most months this month, so I'm just going to get out, get the 4 sessions, regular sessions out of the way as soon as possible, and then I might do a 5th session next week or the week after or sometime this month, so we'll see. And, okay, so the Khartoum, I'm looking at her UTs, the Runes of Wealth could get weird here soon, but anyway, the Khartoum has a Helmsman and Explorer. I believe she has both. Whoops. That's one thing I don't like happening. Alright. But anyway, so yep. She's got a captain, or not a captain, she's got Helmsman and Explorer. I gotta get on track here. I'm not ready for this or something. Alright, so the Khartoum, moving L, and then S. So she docks at the northern parts. This is interesting. Now I'll get into things here. Alright, so the Vikings, I gotta decide on a color for their token here. So I'm thinking light gray maybe. I haven't had the Vikings alone in a campaign game like this, really. I also control them in VASSAL Campaign Game 4, though. So trying not to get that mixed up with this game. Once the games differentiate a bit, once they differentiate, it'll be easier to tell them apart, because right now they're both in the beginning stages of exploration and finding home islands and stuff. The map is the same size, almost the same number of factions, 12 and 10. So inevitably they're going to feel similar for a while, but one of the games will eventually get ahead of the other in terms of progress. So, oh, wolves. Alright, so the Khartoum will not be taking any treasure. So, wolves, no treasure may be loaded from this island until wolves eliminated. Wolves eliminated if successfully hit by a musketeer or a marine. So she can't take the abandoned captain who's being held hostage by the wolves, and she also can't take the metal hull. So I'm gonna put wolves like face up on the island actually. So that's gonna mean that no resources can be taken from the island as well, definitely. So I guess I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say they don't even discover. Well, no, they explored it, so never mind. That would be stupid. Alright, so resource roll. I almost didn't make it. Okay, so luxuries, but they won't be able to load any. So it's kind of just a tease at this point. Luxuries aren't super valuable right now, I guess. So it's not a huge deal, not a huge loss for the Vikings. But that being said, that's not good at all. That's going to slow them down a bit here at the beginning of the game. And the Frost looks like her island got reset by a drift. So I guess spices are not what it will produce. At least probably not when it resets, when they re-explore it. So the Frost is headed towards the home island. And I'm going to see what else they have here. She's got protection from Davy Jones, wet gunpowder. So I'll have to give a repair action to eliminate that. And then Runes of Destruction. There's no icebergs in play yet, so she'll probably put that face down on the home island. And let me just check on the stream here. I've got music up in case I want it at some point. So So the Vikings just went, and now I'm headed south to see the Dutch, who, I'm trying to remember, hasn't even been that long. Okay, yeah, so they basically passed on this island here that the ship, the Z Witch, almost explored, but didn't because she got word from her fleet mates that this island is looking better. So Sardem and the Braic are both headed towards this island here at the same speed, actually, both moving S+S+S. So those two ships are both converging on that island, and that's probably going to be the Dutch home island. At least that's what they're thinking. It could also head a little bit more west or northwest, but anyway. So they've got 5 ships, so they've been able to explore a decent amount of territory so far, a decent amount of ocean. That was weird. I don't know why the ship... Oh, I see. Okay. I thought it moved twice, but I didn't see it, but it's just a little bump. Sometimes when you right-click on ships in VASSAL, you can kind of move them a teeny tiny bit accidentally. It's almost like a bump in real life or something. Alright, so these ships are going to keep heading pretty much on the same course they were. Although Z-Witch is going to maneuver around the fog bank just a little bit. So the Dutch have their sights set on a home island, but we'll see what happens with them. And the Pharaoh's Legacy is next. She's headed towards the Whirlpool to go meet up with the Tangier, who is way off to the northwest. And this is the ship that's in the fog bank right now. So I'm going to zoom in, and then I'll roll to see where she exits the fog bank. Sometimes there's a little bit of lag when you zoom in. So I'm just trying to see the die roll markings on the fog bank to see which one I'll come out of or not. She might get redirected to another fog bank, and it looks like that's what happened. So last time she rolled coming out of the Whirlpool, or the turn after anyway, she went east into that other fog bank. Now she rolls a 2 and gets stuck in this one. So the Tangier is having a pretty bad time trying to navigate this fog pool of sorts. The real fog pools are the ones where the Whirlpool is directly in the fog bank, but you can kind of call this one the same thing. Anyway, a fog whirl, trying to create new names for it. Alright, so the Jades are up next, and they've got some interesting stuff going on. The Sea Panda has Marksman's Map, so she can look at face-down treasure on any island, and then let's refresh my memory of what this other one is. Frond of Saga. Nice. Alright. My pirates just found that in CG4 recently. Or actually, no, they tried to use it. I don't think they even found it. Anyway, so the Sea Panda wants to use Marksman's Map right away. Let me check my document to see if that's what I'm already keeping track of here. Yep, okay. Alright, let me edit this then. So they found Tiki of the Volcano on this island here. I'm pretty sure that should be that coin there. So I'm going to open up the locker so I can see full size. Oh, wow. Alright, the Jades just found Lost with the Marksman's Map on an island that they're heading towards. So that's pretty interesting. So they definitely want to get that, try to create some havoc with Lost. So the Sea Lily is going to continue towards that island here, and she'll probably be the one to roll for Lost, it looks like. And then the River Crystal is headed north to try to explore new territory for the Jade Rebellion. And the Sea Panda is pretty much doing the same thing. So I think she's going to head pretty much due north. They've seen a little bit of stuff to the west where the River Crystal was earlier in the game, but they don't want to go to an island surrounded by terrain quite yet. So, alright, so the Jades have used their UT, given 3 move actions to their ships. So all 3 ships are done for their turns. And then, looks like I have the Spanish up next. Spanish have played an interesting game so far. They stole a home island right out from under the pirates, essentially. So, who knows if that's going to lead to any conflict in the future or not. Looks like the Hoya Briante has textiles aboard, which should be valuable right now. She's also got targeting scope, Cotton's Parrot, which is basically the filching gold ability, and smuggled goods. That's a cool assortment there. So Hoya has S plus L speed, so she's just going back to her home island. And the Pacifica has a couple copies of fireworks that I never turned face down again, which is fine. And then she's got the holy rope as well. Might as well turn it face down in case other factions spy. It might be a little weird because I know what all the factions are doing. So it might be a little weird to try to spy on factions whose UTs I've already seen, but whatever. So the Pacifica is not quite within S of this island, but to use the S Explorer ability, that's fine because she can use it on her approach last turn. And that's one thing, yeah, I could actually highlight that. So Wolf responded in the rules thread at Pirates with Ben, the new rules thread on my forum, and said that you can use the S Explorer ability on the approach to an island. So you can use it without having to not explore that same turn. So basically, next turn the Pacifica can move S towards this island, use the S Explorer ability to mark it explored, and then use her remaining move segments to dock at the island and actually get the coins or, get the gold in a regular game, or in this case, load resources or whatever. So that's cool. It makes the S Explorer ability better, so I'm in favor of that in general because it's a little bit overpriced at 3 points. Not a great ability, but that does make it quite a bunch better. So I'm kind of bullish on that ability as of now, at least. So now we get to the Pirates, though. The Lost Genie of Arabia. See if we switch his faction. Yep, so he's going to switch factions. So on a 1-3. So he's Jade Rebellion right now. And we're going to see what faction he turns up at. So I'm going to go to numbers 1 through 11 for the faction number. 11 is the Dutch. And then the rest are just the regular WizKids factions, of course. But he doesn't go back to Pirate. He goes to faction number 4, which I'm trying to even remember. English. Okay, yeah, I should know that. They're my favorite. But anyway, so the Lost Genie of Arabia switches factions again. But now he's English. So the Pirates still can't use him. Use his extra action ability. That's why he's only 3 points instead of 5, of course. Pretty nasty negative ability. He's not reliable at all, to say the least. So Brigand's Nation is only going to be moving 3S. Yeah, there's just a lot of ocean out there. I don't know what they're going to do yet. I think they're going to split up, actually. They've been together this whole time, the Brigand's Nation and the Black Crow. But they're going to split up. Black Crow's going to keep heading due east. Brigand's Nation is going to go northeast. So that's the Pirates for their turn number 8. And the Americans are next. So hopefully they'll have a good day on Pearl Harbor Day. Not that they need to, but anyway, be fitting, I guess, or unfitting, sadly. The Anchor is still headed northeast, I guess. She does want to check out this the whirlpool surrounded by reefs, and then she does see an island north of it, so she'll probably go scout that out a little bit, or at least do a loop around the whirlpool. French have a home island, and the Americans basically know that by now, pretty much in the vicinity. With the deceptive bounty here, she's eyeing this island and trying to decipher whether the Americans want to take it as their home island or not. But they don't really think so because it's so close to the French. There's not a lot of other stuff around. The wild islands around it aren't super close, so the Americans are still struggling to find a suitable home island location. And if you look at Round Earth, the Vikings are right on the other side of Round Earth, so that island to the west of USS Stellar is not a good one either. So she's gonna pivot and head east. And I'm not really sure where the Americans are gonna settle yet. I guess in a somewhat worst case scenario, they could just settle on this island the Deceptive Bounty is passing right now. But looks like they're gonna try to go closer to the center. So that's their plan right now. Alright, so that's the American turn number 8, and that concludes this round of turns. I'm going to delete the 4 coin, so now there's going to be 8 turns left until the next resource change. Get a 3 coin out here to mark that. And then in the document, I just want to make sure I mark what turn it is. So now this is going to be turn number 9 coming up. I have no idea what faction I'll leave off on. Alright, this is actually an interesting turn for the French. They can explore their first wild island. They've already got their home island set up. And that's where the Bijou de Nut lost her helmsman, I think to missionary, I believe. And the Bijou de Nut, though, or not that ship. The Unicorn Pearl is going to explore this island here. That's a bit west of the French home island. And here we go with the UTs again. Let's see what happens this time. Alright, a couple of good normal ones. And then the Aegis Shield. This ship cannot be affected by unique treasures unless you permit it. This treasure cannot be unloaded. So that's a good one. So she's got some good UTs here. Jade takes up a cargo space, but it's a good one overall. And then Mines is another good one. That one's loaded face down, and she doesn't want to take up the cargo space, so she's going to put the mines back on the island. And then I got to mark this island as explored for the French. I like to use a light blue token for the French, and then dark blue for the Americans. So there's that. And then we have to roll for the resource. So they get spices, which are not valuable right now, but who knows when they will be. Let's get a 5 coin there. I'll get some onto the ship as well. So this ship is now the only ship in the French fleet with a helmsman. And Jade takes up, okay, so I gotta figure out the cargo. Looks like 2 resources can be taken, because Jade is loaded face up and has to be taken. Takes up a cargo space. That does not. So that's 2 with the crew. So that leaves space for 2 spices tokens. Because the Pearl, Unicorn Pearl, has 4 cargo spaces overall. And now I get to their other ships, which are heading to this island here. And at this point, the French and the Americans are basically meeting. It's pretty much the first, or the second, I should say. The Pirates and the Spanish kind of met, but they didn't really want to talk much. Pirates were kind of pissed. And now the French encounter the Americans. They were already kind of seeing each other, but now they're within shouting distance. I would, arguably, or at least in terms of how I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to keep careful track of that or anything, or do any measurements for communication. But so the Americans and the French are the second pair of factions to meet, essentially. The French are going after that island for resources. Of course, the Americans might try to make it their home island, so that could be funny. Alright. So that takes care of the French on turn number 8. Now I get to the Cursed, who are off on their own island exploring adventures. Defeated Kilness moves L. Yeah, they're mostly just moving. They've got a new ship though, so that's cool. Opal Shrine is moving 3S. And I should make sure she doesn't have any special stuff aboard that would make her faster. She's got 3 lumber tokens. And she's got a nice UT there. She's got scurvy, but there's no crew, so it doesn't matter. Forged papers, so that'll come in handy. The Wisp wants the forged papers. Alright, I'm glad I looked at the UTs, because that's going to happen right now. The forged papers are going to come onto the Wisp, and she's going to exchange that for Barrel of Monkeys. Barrel of Monkeys is not what the Wisp wants. They're both gold runners right now with triple S speed, and I think the Opal Shrine will get that as well, that other UT. So the Wisp is going to meet, or she could just redot. Well, either way, it doesn't really affect things too much. The Wisp doesn't really want to do another gold run with Barrel of Monkeys and without forged papers, because she's going to use fog hopping to explore new wild islands for the cursed. So that's what she's after. Repulsive Waste is a funny one. So I don't know where she's going to go. Probably to the Lumber Island, because lumber should be worth 4, maybe. Let me make sure. I keep talking about these resources. I should actually look at the chart to make sure I'm not getting it wrong. So a die roll of 4, lumber is worth 4. Yep, metals, textiles, the best resources. So I've found historically, I think I've already said this, but historically I feel like textiles are the most common resource in all my economy edition games combined. Like between Vassal Campaign 3, 4, 2015, the original game, this game, textiles are just common, it seems like. So that's 4 of their 5 ships have been given move actions. Final one is the Death Lullaby, who looks like she can dock at this island and explore it next turn. I hope. Yep. Looks like she'll get there. Say she docked a little bit over there. And maybe, well, hopefully I'll get to that tonight. Yeah, I'm only 20 minutes in. Actually, you know what? I probably could get to that, hopefully. The next curse turn, that is. So yeah, I'll try to go reasonably quick. Just don't want to mess up any UT stuff that's happening, or that could happen. Speaking of which, that's next, actually, because the King's Heart... Oh, she doesn't have her Explorer anymore. She left it at home, I guess. Interesting. Rats, Letter of Marque, and Knights of Malta Banner. So the King's Heart has the same action twice keyword, which, okay, it's kind of awkward, but at least I think she would get there without it, but we'll see here. This is why Gold Runners don't really need same action twice, because now the ship is to the island, but since it's same action twice, I can't explore. You need an extra action for that, or a different action. So I could move again, but there's no real benefit. There's no need to move again, and neither of these ships have an explorer, so the SAT is wasted. So she got the SAT roll, doesn't need it. I kind of wish I had left the explorer on the ship, but anyway. And the reason this one doesn't have any coins, they did explore it, but then it got reset with the Adrift UT, which resets all islands to unexplored and resets the resources as well. So, but the King's Cove is in a much better spot, actually, because she has this one. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. So okay, I already made a note about this one. The Fountain of Gold is accumulating treasure. Started on turn number 8. Yeah. So that one's worth 2 gold now. I don't really need to worry about that. I'm just going to subtract the number when it gets unloaded. Oh, man. Yeah, this reminds me of the last session. So custom UTs definitely got an interesting flavor to the game, especially if you're not expecting to find them, or if you've never used them before, of course, like in my case here. The King's Cove, 3 cargo, plus S to her base move if she begins a move action with an S of an island. So she's moving 5S, because she's got 3S speed, helmsman, and that ability. So this thing is flying out of here. So that's good for the English. She only has 1 token aboard. It's not valuable right now, but she's going to be home pretty quickly here. Alright, and just to make sure... Okay, yep, the Fountain of Gold takes up a card space. That's why she only has the 1 token. Alright. So our cargo hold is full, of course. That's the English, and now I'm back to the Vikings already. I should definitely be able to get the next curse turn. I think I'm favoring the curse a little bit too much early on in the game. I guess I'm just excited for their turns. They've got a Fog Hopper. They've already launched. They've got 5 ships now, which ties the Dutch for the most in play. So a lot of reasons I'm excited about the cursed. Khartoum cannot explore with the wolves, or she can't take any coins or resources. So therefore, she's still got cargo. So she's going to go in search of other islands. So I think she's going to go west. She doesn't want to really risk the round earth uncertainty quite yet, especially with no support around. The frost isn't going to be able to save her, to say the least. So the Khartoum is going to head west in general. And so are the Dutch, of course. So the Dutch are approaching what they want to make their home island. And yeah, it looks like I'll get through a bunch of turns today. But you never know when I'm going to find an island with like UTs that either have rules interactions with other UTs on the same island, or like a custom UT that I have to figure out, stuff like that. Like the Fuente de Oro last session is a good example of that. So that's 4 of the 5 Dutch ships, and then the Griffon here is right next to the Whirlpool, but she's just going to continue onward, and she might end up by that lagoon area, or that tiny, kind of like a mini archipelago of sorts. Alright, so the Dutch just keep on sailing. Same with the Corsairs, pretty much. Yeah, I'm going to get through a bunch of faction turns today, which is good. Make a decent amount of progress on the turns. Speaking of which, the Tangier is next, so she's going to try to come out of this fog bank. Hopefully she'll get a better roll this time, and she does. Looks like I'm going to be out of the fog, and that'll be for good, because she's definitely not going back in there. So the Tangier, it's going to go out of the fog bank, face that way a bit. Gotta zoom out like 3 times, get back to the same zoom level. So they like some of the islands in this area. The Corsairs do. So now I just got to figure out if I want to have that. Well, I don't really like how the terrain is right there. There's some islands around it, but the French and the Americans are both there as well. So I think they might go to the southwest actually. So I'm gonna rotate on the stern back again actually, because she hasn't been given move action yet, so that's fine. Wow, so the Corsairs, I think they might establish this as their home island. I don't think she has an explorer, so it'll have to be next turn, but that's alright. Corsairs are in business, at least I think they will be, I believe. And she's got island treasure trading, which could help to trade away a negative UT, like wolves or something if she found it. And then she's got secret hold, but she's got an explorer, so I'll have to wait till, or a helmsman, sorry. She doesn't have the explorer she needs. So with the helmsman, I'll have to wait till next turn to explore, which leaves the Jades as the next faction to go. The Tiger Lily is going to make a slight adjustment to her course here, heading towards that island where they found Lost. And then, just to see if there's a negative UT on the island, the marksman's map of the Jades is going to be used to look at the final treasure and its claw cannon. So the Jades are fine with that. They've explored that entire island with marksman's map, essentially, where they've spied all the treasures. And now we get to their other ships here. The River Crystal is heading almost due north. The Sea Panda is pretty much due north. She'll be going slightly west in a second next turn, because I think they'll explore that island next. So that's the Jade turn. Zipping along here. Just make sure, probably gonna forget some UT stuff. Oh, all right. Yep, exactly. This is why I gotta slow down and make sure I know what I'm doing. So the Jades have Frond of Saga on the Sea Panda. They might as well use it. So they're gonna reveal it when they give the ship a move action, and roll a d6. And so nothing happens. So 5 or 6, good result. Very good, actually. This UT is slightly overpowered in a way. I think it would be a little better if it said the furthest wild island for the negative ability. But anyway, Frond of Saga is definitely a very good UT. Pretty cool one overall. Just a little bit excessive, perhaps. So on a roll of 3 with that UT, nothing happens. I'm going to keep it face up on the ship. Oh, and they just revealed it, so duh. So it would stay face up anyway. Alright. Even though it failed, you know, it still stays face up at this point, because now it's been revealed to everyone. Hoya Briante is heading home for the Spanish, and the Pacifica is going to re-explore this island, actually. She already... Oh yeah, I forgot what the coin is, but she already has some UTs. One of the UTs might have been from this island, maybe. Oh no, it wasn't. No, she used S Explorer. She never has seen these coins. So this is still brand new to the Spanish. This is brand new information. Because they use the S Explorer ability, which they're going to use right now, to put a token on the island. And I actually want to replace this because in CG4, I just recently noticed that the Corsairs should probably have the darker yellow color, and then the Spanish could have the lighter yellow. The Corsairs have kind of an orange flag, at least more so than the Spanish. The Spanish make a little bit more sense as like a bright yellow faction. So, kind of splitting hairs, but I think it makes a little more sense to me at least. So S Explorer used on the Pacifica, and then she's going to use partial move segments to dock at this one part of the island. And then since she used S Explorer this turn, let me make sure she's docked. They've already explored the island with the S Explorer ability about halfway through the session, that is, not through the game. It's going to be a game that lasts many years, I would think and hope. So Runes of Thor, nice. Potions and Brews, Sunken Treasure. Okay. Interesting haul. So Sunken Treasure is going to fill up her cargo hold, which is too bad, but we'll see what they roll. Maybe they'll get lucky. I say that because she already has 2 copies of Fireworks. These are loaded face down, but then they take up space because of that. And then she's got a Helmsman, so she has 5 cargo, -3 is 2 left. Sunken Treasure takes up 2 cargo spaces, so. And it's loaded face up, so you have to take it. And these are both loaded face down, actually, Runes of Thorn, Potions and Brews. So either of those are, I can't take either of those. There's no option to do that. I guess I could do a house roll where I swap them with the Fireworks, but they don't really want to do that anyway. They don't care enough quite yet. It's not like these UTs are going to be, attacked by the other factions like right now. So Sunken Treasure is the main haul here. I'll roll for the resource roll in a second, of course, but first I'll do the UT resolution. So 2d6 to determine the value. Ooh, they got nice and lucky. All right, so that's good. That makes up for their lack of cargo for resources right now. So Sunken Treasure, you reduce the value by 1 each turn. It's like depreciation, or is unloaded at your home island, and it takes up 2 cargo spaces. So it's worth 11. All right, so I got to mark this. I'm going to put this right there to show, that's a reminder to decrease the value each turn, and that the ship has that she's carrying it. And then I think I'm just going to do a separate coin as a UT and mark it 11. And then I'm just going to decrease that to 10 next turn, for example. So kind of a lot, but I just want to make sure I do it right. So the Pacifica, oh, and then I got to reroll for the resource. And they get 4, which is not valuable right now, but food. So food is number 4 resource. So maybe they found bananas or coconuts or something on the island. No cargo space for it. They're taking the treasure first, which is actually good. So the Sunken Treasure, if she's moving triple S, she'll probably be home in 3 or 4 turns. So Sunken Treasure will be worth like 7 or 8 gold maybe. And then for the next 8 turns, food is the least valuable resource at just 1 gold. So it's actually, it works out well for the Spanish that they found Sunken Treasure and didn't find a good resource. It works out fine for them. And I'm looking up in the chat log to see, I did move the Hoya Briante, so that's good. Just making sure of that. It says 2 watching now, so if somebody joined, thanks again for watching. I'm on the pirate turn now, in turn number 9, or round 9. The pirates have split up. Brigand's Nation and Black Crow have the same move speed. Right now I'm going to roll for the Lost Genie of Arabia. Okay, so on a 1, he does change factions. So let's see what faction he goes to this time. I guess it's still 4? I don't know. Alright, anyway, I don't know if it glitched or if it actually was I think it was a 4 result. But either way, he can't use his abilities because he goes to faction number 3, which is the Cursed, I believe. I'm having trouble remembering tonight, but yep. Alright, so I'll put a curse marker there. So he switches factions again. And the Lost Genie is very lost here in the early going. He switched back to pirate early on, but now he's totally out of control. So Brigand's Nation is headed north in general. And then the Black Crow is headed due east. Maybe it's slightly north at this point because she sees a dangerous Sargasso Sea to the south. At least it's dangerous to small ships because they get trapped easily. And then she sees an island to the north a little bit. So she adjusts her course a tiny bit. And I'm on to the Americans, who are having a tough time finding a home island so far. Deceptive Bounty has exchanged a few words with the Galil, our captain, saying hello or whatever. Deceptive Bounty is going to continue southeast. The anchor sees this island, but just like how the French didn't like it when they came in from the northwest, when they sailed in, the anchor doesn't like how it's basically all alone. The only close island near it is surrounded by fog, which doesn't make it a good home island location. So we're going to pass on that one as well. And then the Stellar, the third American ship, they're probably the most widespread fleet so far, maybe. The Americans. Stellar is headed east, but that island is surrounded by whirlpools, so not a great home island location either. So, or it could be okay, but, you know, home island raiding and blockading would be incredibly easy if you establish that as a home island. So, anyway, alright, so I'm going to get a drink and update the turn counter and whatnot. Alright, so the French had a solid turn of moving. Palil docked at the island, so she'll explore that one next turn. And just as I had hoped, I get to another curse turn, which is always interesting. They look like they're going to explore another island, this time with the Death Lullaby. And right now, I'm trying to think which of these ships to use an explore action with. I think the Opal Shrine is she's going to be given the move action. And then, yeah, she's going to use the turtle ship keyword to rotate on her stern at the end of her move action to touch the Wisp, who is going to be given an explore action to swap UTs. So the Barrel Monkey doesn't say anything about needing to keep it on the ship. It doesn't say it can't be unloaded to another ship. So that one goes to the Opal Shrine, and the Opal Shrine is going to give forged papers to the Wisp, and the Opal Shrine is also going to take John's Cutlass, which is a good offensive UT that the Cursed would rather have in their home waters on a turtle ship than out, on a fog-hopping gold runner. So none of the Opal Shrine's UTs take up cargo space, which is why she's got 7 coins instead of 3. The 3 lumber, the stuff that's filling up her cargo hold. So the Wisp is ready to roll now. She explored this turn, so she can't move, but next turn she'll start another fog-hopping expedition, which is going to be fun. Let's see, I think the Curse they're going to try to establish like a fog-hopping resource empire of sorts. They might be able to explore a bunch of the map way more quickly than any other faction, given, just that one fog hopper is going to help them a lot, and then they plan to launch more, maybe kind of soon, so we'll see what happens with them. Very intrigued to watch the Curse here in this game. They do add a lot of spice and flavor to the game, so not my favorite faction, but they really make things interesting, I will admit. So the Death Lullaby explores this island and finds Friendly Colony, which is one from El Cazador, I believe. Do not load this unique treasure. Ships docked at this island may be given a repair action to repair up to 2 masts instead of 1. Alright, that's cool. That's going to be good if they build they could build a fort there, or a trading port, or a military port, and use it as like a super repair station. Because it would stay on the island, unless some kind of faction managed to like eliminate the UT or get rid of it or something, or swap it. Huh. Nice. So that's great for the curse. Ooh, this is very fitting. Witch's Brew is one from Davy Jones' Curse, one of the first UTs I ever got, I believe. Once returned, instead of getting the ship in action, you may place a fog cloud or fog bank with an L of her. So you have to give up an action, which is unfortunate, but it's similar to like a smoke pot specialist or smoke pot shot effect. So that's cool. And then the Abandoned Musketeer, which takes up a cargo space. And you would load that one face down, or at least you're supposed to. So I might not take that one. Yeah, this ship only has 2 cargo, so depending on the resource, I might not take the Musketeer yet. The Musketeer can defend the Friendly Colony, I guess you could say. So the resource roll is 3, and the Curse continue to have a great time in this game. Metals are currently the most valuable resource, although this ship might not get home in time. There's 8 turns left, but this ship is quite slow. She's only S plus S speed. She doesn't have a helmsman. She doesn't really have room realistically for one, or at least not, as a gold runner. You don't want to just have 1 cargo available. At least I don't. So anyway, but she is going to take both metals along with the Witch's Brew, of course, which is loaded automatically. Doesn't take up any cargo. The Abandoned Musketeer is going to stay abandoned, but at least he's at a friendly colony. So very nice turn for the Curse. They get a good resource. And it's also a different resource than the lumber that they have on that island. And I see the token, which reminds me to put a Curse token on that island. The Curse have explored 3 islands already, counting the one towards the center that the Wisp got to. Although that one has been marked unexplored by the Adrift UT. So technically at this point they've explored 3, but only 2 have been marked right now. So alright, and there's still like 20 minutes left. Alright, but you never know what's going to happen, so I probably won't get back to the Cursed tonight. That's quite alright. English are moving towards their home island with the King's Cove. And, oh, duh, so she has 4S with helmsman. Wow, nice. Or no, oh, she has an Explorer. Oh, I messed up. The King's Cove, she dropped her helmsman for the Patagonia or something. Okay. So I moved 5S last turn, and I was supposed to move 4. So she's going back 2 S's. So instead of 5 and 4, she should be moving 4 and then 3 this turn. Alright. So I'm glad I caught that before she got back home. Oops. But not a big deal. King's Cove. Had to move back a little bit. She's not that fast. Not right now. Not without a helmsman. And yeah, she doesn't really need a helmsman to run gold. She'd rather have the cargo space open, at least to some extent. So the King's Heart. This is another reason I don't like SAT on gold runners, because I could roll for it now. But what's the point? Because I'm not going to explore the island twice. In this case, I will roll for it because this is another great example of why the turn order for ships matters, or ship turn order matters. Not just in large games. This could happen in a smaller game too. So since I have SAT on the King's Heart, I'm going to explore with the Patagonia here, and then that way I can use 1 move action of the King's Heart to move away and redock as a move action. And then since the island has already been explored, I can take any resources or gold, whatever, from the island automatically, since I've already explored it with Patagonia earlier that turn. And then the SAT could still matter, because if I get it, then I could move away, so I could move twice. So in this case, the turn order matters. The Patagonia is the one doing the exploring. And I've already picked up the UTs, and they find spices. So not valuable right now, but it's different than the food they found slightly different than the food they found in the Northeast. And the English are going to load up here, big time. So the Patagonia has 3 cargo spaces open, and the King's Heart has, I don't know, maybe 2. Let me figure it out in a second. The Patagonia is slow, but 4 cargo spaces for 4 points is a nice deal. King's Heart has Wraths, unfortunately, but she's got some decent positive UTs as well. And she's only got the 1 crew. So let me roll for SAT first, because that makes more sense. So she doesn't get it, but whatever. So I'm just going to say she moves away and redocks to take coins, or she could just be given, at this point, since she doesn't have the SAT this turn, she could just explore as well to take, you don't have to redock if you don't want to. So, alright, so the King's Heart takes a couple spices, the English are in business, now they just have to get stuff home and hope that the resources become more valuable over time. Back to the Vikings, who I started with tonight. Frost will dock home next turn. She has spices aboard. The Vikings probably won't be able to launch yet because spices are not valuable. The Khartoum is headed west after the Wolves denied her a chance at that island, or the gold at that island. And this is an interesting discovery here. The Z-Witch, who almost discovered the Dutch home island before they wanted to shift gears on that, she next turn is going to, looks like she's going to brave the reefs, which can't really damage 1 masters because you have to roll lower than the ship's number of original masts. So you can't roll a 0, so 1 masters are basically immune to reefs. But yeah, so she's discovered the shipwreck, and you can see some coins sticking out. I do have a couple shipwrecks in the setup here, same with CG4. So it looks like she'll be able to reach it next turn. She doesn't have an explorer, so she'd have to explore the turn after that, but anyway. Alright, so the Reachger, this is a little bit interesting too. Looks like we have a potential meetup. The Reachger, she sees the Khartoum there, and she's a little scared. Big long ship there. So she's gonna go on the south side of the reef, but she also sees this island, so there might be a little competition between those 2 ships for that island, but they could also turn out to be friendly towards each other, so we'll see. And then the Griffion is going to keep heading towards that island there, or more than one of those islands. And it looks like the Dutch are going to dock at what they want to make their home island. They're pretty sure, they're quite sure actually, that this is going to be their home island. And now that they've docked there, they're going to do that next turn. So that's exciting for the Dutch. They can't dock, well, let me see if I can do this. 2, 3, okay. I was trying to dock both ships. I don't know if that's really worthwhile, but it might be, because I might want to put 1 UT on 1 ship and 1 on a different ship. They can't really, I don't know. I'm not going to split hairs. They can't quite get there, so that's fine. That ship is not docked, but the Sardem is, and she'll be able to make that the Dutch home island next turn, which is nice, because then the other Dutch ships can just go crazy exploring other islands, so, which they will pretty soon, probably. Alright, so the Pharaoh's Legacy is going to be into the Whirlpool, and she's going to go where the Tangier went, eventually. Looks like I'm getting dragged up. Well, not quite all the way over. I just gotta find the other ship in the fleet here. I'll take a little time. Yeah, the Tangier is at the Corsair potential home island here. I guess. I don't know. Let me just check the stream real quick. Yeah, so 10 minutes left, basically. Tough decision here. The Corsairs. I mean, this island is not a great location, actually. I don't know. I don't want to go back on what they were just thinking. Huh. Just wondering if it's the best location for them. It's good, but not great. I don't know. It's near the Ring of Fire in the center, so that could be lucrative. Especially with the galley keyword. The reefs wouldn't pose a huge problem for them. They just don't like how this island has a fog bank and the Sargassos around it. The curse could really wreak serious havoc on them if they pick that as their home island. So, and they're kind of antsy. And the Tangier has been through a lot with the whirlpool, and then she was trapped in the fog for a handful of turns. So, oh, I gotta finish the Pharaoh's Legacy first. But yeah, but yeah, to my point though, the Tangier is gonna explore that island to make it the Corsair home island. So that's what's gonna happen in a second. Let me just finish this ship. So whirlpool damage. All right, so she's fine, and let's see. So she has some abilities. Oh, she has reroll. Oh, nice. Oh, ignores terrain. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. In that case, I'm not going to move her into a fog bank. She's just going to stay like right on top of the whirlpool, and the next turn she can just zip through the fog without having to get trapped in it. All right. Oh, that's cool. I got to remember these abilities. Some of these, I made a bunch of Corsair ships in my custom set that are pretty stacked. They're not really, I don't know. The Corsairs are the one faction I kind of went a little over the top with in my custom set. There's too many expensive Corsairs and there's too many like gunship type ships, but oh well. Alright, so the Tangier is exploring this island to make it the Barbary Corsair home island. I'm going to go to this kind of like a dark, well not really dark, but the darker yellow color. So the Corsair is going to home island. Doesn't look like a great location, but they're going to try to make it work. They've got a lot of fast ships too, so even if some of the islands are farther away, that's not all bad. So, all right, all three UTs are customs, and I'm not even sure who some of these are from. Pardon my lack of knowledge there. There's some from Riz, and got a Captain Mike, Xerix, Cazador, my own, of course. Golden Idol. You can load this treasure face down. You can reveal Golden Idol to eliminate masts from this ship. Masts eliminated become cargo worth 1 gold and take up no cargo space. Huh. These masts can be repaired, but then are no longer cargo and have no gold value, and will eliminate Golden Idol from the game. Okay, that's a little funky, but load it face down. So they could just like keep it on their home island, which is awkward, but that's fine. So, I mean, there's only one mast left standing, so this is just kind of a weird one. I don't know. Either way, it's not going to be very lucrative, so that's not the ship they're going to load it with. That's for sure. Alright, so Loa's protection basically just prevents Loa's Wrath from working. Honestly, I can't remember what Loa's Wrath does, but it's probably out there in the distribution. It should be, so maybe it'll affect things in like a year from now. Loqua Rum is from El Cazador. I saw that one recently from his Rise of the Moon Sorcerer custom set, which was released just this year. This one, the ship gets -1 to her d6 rolls. This treasure is worth gold equal to triple the number of crew on the ship when loaded. Huh. This treasure is worth gold equal to triple the number. Okay. So that one's just going to be worth 3. So she'll have to redock to unload that one. So I'll put both of these on the ship, the Tangier, and I'm going to have to move the Corsair's like deck plates, I think, because they're not settling where they showed up, which is fine. But so Loqua Rum is going to be worth 3 gold when she redocks next turn, and then Loa's protection will be maybe a nice defense if Loa's Wrath ever is a problem for the Corsairs. I'm going to yank this stuff into my locker and then go over here to find their home island location, which is kind of an interesting location. I find it intriguing. So I think I'll move the Spanish over to the left a bit for now. I like this ocean because the borders are bigger. I purposely made them larger. Alright, so yeah, the Corsair is going to be right around here. is where their deck plate location is going to be. I could also change that if I wanted to, but I'd rather not. At this point, we don't need the basic crew chip, but I'll probably put it on their home island just because I might as well. And then, yeah, the Spanish are going to take the southwest corner, especially because the pirates are moving like east and north. Makes a lot of sense for the Spanish to go over here. So they're just going to go there and expand to the right. And then this is going to come up towards the Corsair's home island. Let's see if I get dragged to the top or not. Yep. All right, I'm going too far. So hard to make it work. All right, so this will work fine, actually. So the Corsairs have a home island. Therefore, I'm not going to roll for the resources, of course, because it won't produce any. And the Pharaoh's Legacy is having a good whirlpool trip so far, and she won't have any fog issues because she can ignore terrain. And that's almost it. Looks like I got 4 minutes left, pretty much. So the Corsairs just went. Now the Spanish are going. All right, so let me decrease the value of sunken treasure to 10 gold. Maybe I could finish the round real quick. Finish at the end of an actual round of turns. I think I will be able to, because I don't think the pirates or the Americans are exploring any islands at all. They're both still just looking for home islands. Yes, the Pacifica moves 3S towards home, and the Hoya Briante can move L plus S towards home. Alrighty. I gotta just make sure I don't mess this up. I don't even know what she's got going on here. Just gotta face down. Targeting scope. Cool. Alright. That's it for the Spanish. Now the pirates go. Brigand's Nation finds this island, but there's not much around it. And I mean, it's not a terrible location. They got a shipwreck to the southwest. They got the Whirlpool Island to the northwest. You know what? It's not a bad location, really. There's a chance the pirates are going to settle there. Then the Black Crow is coming up on an island too, which could be maybe a better location. This island the Black Crow is coming upon is not too far from these 4 islands to the south of it. Those are all wild. One of them is being explored by the Spanish. But then they'd still be close to these other islands. And then they'd be farther away from the Corsairs. Yeah, the Black Crow likes this island a lot. I think the pirates might try to make that their home island. I think they finally have a good candidate. I think they like that quite a lot. So, and they got some whirlpools that are a nice distance away, not too close, not too far. They want to travel. The Black Crow is going to signal to the Brigand's Nation, who agrees with the choice. Oh, the Lost Genie of Arabia. Let me roll for him. Okay, so he switches factions again. On a roll of 1 through 3. I think I'm just going to finish the round either way. Okay, number 6. So he switches to Jade. Almost no point in actually like changing the crew, but whatever. Let's do it. Doesn't take long, so that's fine. So he's still struggling to find his place on the pirate ship. Looks like the Brigand's Nation can dock. Alright, I'm just gonna move her back. She's not gonna move her full move segment because I don't want to get confused next session, which is tomorrow, but whatever. I don't want to get confused as to what they're doing with their home island. Actually, she'll have to wait 2 turns. The Black Crow doesn't have an explorer. So, she might just kind of sit there, which sucks, but I don't know. She could move to another island, but she's right there, and there's not much right around her, so I think she's just going to wait for the Black Crow. So, whatever. Alright. Okay, so the last faction to go in the turn order is the Americans, of course. USS Stellar is going to go along the south side of this island surrounded by whirlpools. And Deceptive Bounty is going to continue southeast as well. And they'll come up on that island, but that island is like, it's close to the Corsairs. They might still try to make it their home island though. Then they have an island to the west and to the northeast. Their brief interaction with the French was friendly, so they don't really see each other as enemies or anything, or even rivals, at least not right now. So the Americans might try to make that their home island. This one here that the Corsairs were initially considering, but then they passed on it to go south. Yeah, beyond that, the Americans are either going to be into the Ring of Fire, where you can't really establish a home island, or they'll be north where the Cursed are, which is bad, I would think. Although, this island here is not bad either, I guess. It's not too bad of a location. You've got fog blocking you from the Ring of Fire, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. Yeah, the Americans might have the toughest time of any faction in terms of home island exploration and finding, but we'll probably be okay in the long run, hopefully. And then the Anchor gets the last move action of the night, I believe. Definitely over an hour. Oh, barely. Alright, that's good. So, I finished another turn. Whoops. Not turn 101. That'll be a ways from now. So, I'll start. I hope I didn't mess it up. I don't think so. Anyway. So, turn number 11. We'll start with the next session. It's got to decrease the resource counter to 6 turns left in the resource roll, the resource change. So that's it for the hourly campaign. So it's part 10. So we're into double digits here with 10 hours invested into the game. So I'll save it in a second. Thanks for watching, and I'm probably going to be back tomorrow and on Sunday, December 8th and 9th. At least that's my plan right now. Could change, but thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you in more sessions.